to Want to Bet, our sports betting show here on News Maine Plus. I'm Lee. This is Todd.
You were just tell them what you just told me.
Close.
Tell them what you just told me.
Last week was horseshoes. We were so close.
Leaners. We had some leaners.
A lot of leaners.
A lot of leaners.
We were one golfer away from a plus 850 hit on our golf bet at the Masters. We needed Tommy Fleetwood to come in top 20, and he killed me.
And he did.
We even had our boy Jake Knapp in the top 20, and he did it.
And
that could have been plus 850.
What was your little side note about his girlfriend is from Maine?
Yeah, Westbrook.
Is from Westbrook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Same.
What are you saying?
That's why he's doing so well.
Oh, okay.
It's that Maine loving.
It's the girls from Westbrook.
Yeah, there it is.
There
we
it
even
is.
had that futures bet that we made before the hockey season started. The Bruins make the playoffs. That was plus 400 for them to make the playoffs. They did. So if you listened to us way back then, we're taking credit for it now
because we need to.
Because it finally happened. So there you go. Bruins make the playoffs was plus 400.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got the NBA in the playoffs, NHL in the playoffs. We'll get to both of those. We'll start with the NBA.
Yeah.
They are underway technically because of the play-in.
Playing games happen.
To get in. So the Celtics now have their first round opponent after last night. It's the 76ers who won. The Celtics are heavy favorites in this series. And certainly very
well. Joel Embiid's not playing.
Right. He's not playing at least at the early part of this.
Right. Who knows?
He could be out for the whole thing with his little appendectomy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they still have Maxey. Maxey's a stud.
Yeah, Maxey's a killer.
Didn't he have he had a monster. Was it last regular season game or something?
Also plays really well against the Celtics.
Yeah.
We've done some individual Celtics-Sixers game bets this year, and Maxey crushes the Celtics.
Yeah. So. I mean, look, you're not going to take the Sixers in this series.
No.
I'm not taking the Sixers in this series.
No.
I mean, do they sweep? Do they not? Who knows? I'm not even going to play with that. But, I'd like talking about the conference, like the Eastern Conference as a whole. If I were betting on this, and that's what this show is all about.
We should do that.
We should put something like that together. That's a brilliant idea.
What a great idea.
Wow, two minds. Look at that.
Why
That's all it
thought
took.
of this before?
I think the Celtics is the way you got to go in this one. They're plus money to win the conference, 155, I think at last check, plus 155. Jaylen Brown has done it all year long at an MVP level. I had concerns about Tatum's re-entry into this program and into this lineup, how that dynamic would change. Would that deplete Jaylen in any way? And it hasn't. It hasn't. I mean, he seems to be doing just fine, and they both complement each other really well. And I think this year, especially when you compare it to last year, prior to Tatum's injury last year, the C's, they were struggling in that Knicks series. Like they might have lost that series regardless, even without the injury. This year, though, the supporting cast just seems a little stronger. Like White and Pritchard. One of those two is kind of like this third really good player of like a trio, like a three musketeer. One night it could be Pritchard, another night it could be White, but they're both great. And, I think they've got a little more size in the paint, too.
Well, they've got a center.
Yeah.
I mean, who's just getting started in his basketball life. So.
Right. He's not ancient.
No.
I
mean, so they didn't have that.
They didn't.
Last year,
right. So they have a little bit more this year compared to last year. And that's why I feel more confident this year to take them, even though, they're the 2 seed. But, heck, they probably would have been the 1 seed if Tatum were healthy the entire season. So that would be my pick coming out of the East, and that would be my bet coming out of the East, because it's plus money, plus 155, and I like them as the favorite.
Yeah, I think that the Tatum injury helped them, because I think it's really easy to be complacent with, here's our guy, and crunch time will be, not that you didn't have other choices, but you always knew he was going to be the guy who could pull you out of a fire if you needed it, or at least would be the guy to take that shot.
Right.
And without him for so long, everybody's confidence grew. Wow. Because I think the expectations were so low for them this year. Everyone's like, they might not make the playoffs.
Exactly.
They're going to be an 8 seed. Like, they can't do it without Tatum. So to see how well they were doing without him.
Yeah.
And then now you're adding, your best player, arguably, all-around player to the team. Like, And everybody's like, we can do this without him. And now we have him.
Right.
So everybody's game is elevated because they've got a little more confidence.
Adversity was a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, not having Tatum for that long and still playing at an elite level, second best in the Eastern Conference. That's adversity. Like, because you're right, nobody was thinking they would be this good.
And not for nothing, I know he gets a lot of crap because of his personality, but Joe Mazzulla, great job.
Oh my gosh.
Great job this year. You had to reinvent the wheel.
Oh yeah.
You know, okay, here's our everything. We run everything through this guy.
Yeah.
So now switch. We're going to run everything through this guy.
Yeah.
So good job, Joe Mazzulla. And I love this. So I did do a game one bet.
Oh, good. Okay.
What's your favorite song by Sammy Hagar? Not when he was with Van Halen, just Sammy Hagar by himself.
You're going to have to give me some options.
Something to do with driving.
I drive 55.
I can't drive 55.
I can't drive 55. That's what it is. I drive 55. I obey laws and speed limits.
It's like driving Miss Daisy over here.
Looks like we have a promo.
Okay, I can't drive 55. For this bet, I'm going with I can't go 35. So, except I can go 35.
You can't.
So we're doing Tyrese Maxey, 35 points, rebounds, and assists. Tatum, 35 points, rebounds, and assists. Jaylen Brown, 35 points, rebounds, and assists, plus 252. In case you're scoring at home, all three of those players average close to 40 points, rebounds, and assists.
All right.
So bringing it way down.
Let's go.
I can't drive 35. That's my game one bet for that one if you need it. Now, as far as the futures to win the East, my money is on
Who you got?
the Boston Celtics.
There it
Plus
is.
155.
There it is.
You didn't talk about the West, so I don't know if you're going to.
I'm going to, yes.
I've got the Thunder to win the West.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I've tried to find ways to put San Antonio in there. I love watching Wemby play.
I know.
I like some of the other teams. I'd like to get creative and find a way.
Yeah.
The Thunder, they're still the best team. So
They are.
sometimes the best team just keeps on winning. And they're the best, most well-rounded. SGA is a killer. I like everything about them, defense, offense, the way they play. They can be in tough situations and pull themselves out of it. They've been battle-tested. They've been here before. They've won before. Like, everything about them screams that they're going to be back in the championship game. And you can get OKC money right now, plus money. Plus money.
Bear, is
to
it?
win, it's plus 110.
To win the championship, not to win the
No,
not to win the Western
they're heavy
Conference.
favorites at minus
yeah, they're
160.
-1. Yeah,
But to win it all, I think if the Thunder and the Celtics do meet, I still think the Thunder win.
I agree.
So I don't like that matchup for the Celtics.
I don't think the Celtics
I'd
win.
rather have the Celtics play anybody besides the Thunder, actually. I like them against San Antonio more than I like them against Oklahoma City. But anyway, Oklahoma City to win it all gets you plus money, and get that while you can, because once it goes a couple series, that's going to go down to minus money.
Yeah.
So anyway, Celtics to win, Thunder to win, and then Thunder to beat the Celtics.
The West is stacked.
Yes.
You know, on the upper echelon,
Yeah.
they have the three of, aside from the Celtics, I think they have the three probably best teams in the league, with OKC, with Denver, and with San Antonio.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that. I mean, Denver looks at the moment like the best team in the West. They've won, is it 12 in a row?
Yeah, they're hot.
They've won 12 games in a row, and 2 of those included San Antonio and another one over OKC. So they beat their 2 rivals there out west in this current 12-game win streak, and Jokic is playing insane.
I just feel like in the playoffs,
I agree.
Is so different.
I know. I'm not taking them in the West.
I'd like
this
to see.
playoffs.
I wish that Luka was healthy. I'd love to see the Lakers make a run.
Same.
Like that would have been fun. Remember last year? Didn't you? You had the Lakers Celtics.
I did. Like an idiot.
How do I remember that?
So,
anyway,
well, because it was wrong. That's why.
good point.
And you could say like,
I don't remember
your bet lost.
any of the ones you got right.
You never do, Lee. You never do. I do like how I like the plus money out west, though. Like you mentioned, OKC, the heavy favorite out west, and it's minus money, right?
Yeah.
There's some serious plus money with the Spurs at plus 330, and with Denver at plus 500. Look, I think I'm more inclined to throw money at odds like that than I would be at the safest one, which is OKC.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like living on the edge a little bit for this, because you don't have to throw a lot at either of those 2 teams to get a good payout. And even if you lose, you're not losing a lot in the process. You have to put up a lot to make a lot if you take OKC out west. So I tried to make an argument on why you can take somebody else. First of all, if you look at the Spurs against Oklahoma City, I mean, just looking at the games they played this season, they played 3 back in December, actually. 1 in January and 1 in February. One of those games early in the season was the, that in-season tournament they do.
Oh, sure.
But San Antonio this year is 4-1 against Oklahoma City. I don't feel like they're not afraid of that team. They're not afraid of that team. Wemby was studly in a lot of that stuff too, in those regular season games. So I don't think they're afraid of them, and I think you can make an argument that they can go toe-to-toe with Oklahoma City and win that series. So that's the argument against Oklahoma City. Now, what about Denver? Denver was 3-1 against San Antonio during the regular season, but Wemby only played in one of those games. So, and if those two teams end up meeting down the line, San Antonio is going to have the home court advantage. And home court advantage is a really large thing in the NBA. I feel like it's more important in the NBA than it is in the NHL. Probably in MLB.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
But maybe not in the NFL.
No, I think the NFL would be.
It might be the
one,
most.
And NBA would be 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think that probably makes sense to me too. So I think because of those two factors, like San Antonio not afraid of Oklahoma City and beating them 4 out of 5 times during the regular season, and then the Spurs having home court against Denver if they match up against them ever, I'm going to take the Spurs here to go to win the West at plus 330.
Yeah.
And therefore, I would also take the Spurs to win the championship, which seems crazy for me to say. And I'm probably going to have to eat all this stuff. But I don't.
But it's smart money. I mean,
well, that's the thing. It's just
not tremendous risk.
The risk reward is way better than it is.
From a gambling standpoint, that makes sense.
So that's why I would do that.
Just clarification, so nobody adds me on the home advantage.
Yeah,
it's more important for hockey than it is for basketball because of the last change.
Because
from a coaching standpoint, you get to have the last.
Oh, like during game stuff. Right. Oh, absolutely.
But
yeah.
From a
line change perspective.
Like
yes.
For experience.
Yes.
and intimidation,
yeah.
I think that basketball matters more.
I think so
but from
too.
a strategical standpoint.
Yeah, I mean they get the last change.
Put hockey ahead of NBA at that point.
Right. Okay.
But I still would put football first because when you're on
crowd
the road,
noise, all that,
you
can't hear a
blah,
thing.
Blah, blah, so.
Yeah. It's way more people in an NFL stadium than there are in an NHL stadium, in an NBA stadium, and in most of the major league ballparks too. Yeah. Oh. What do you got? What's wrong?
Nothing. You're gonna have to go first.
All right. So this is NHL.
My notes are on my notes.
What do we got?
We got Bruins on the road.
I don't know how to work this prompter.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Bruins and Sabres. Bruins long shot to win the cup for sure, and they're actually an underdog in this series as well. But they made the playoffs, so that's a win.
Yes.
Because that also was, as we showed you, it was plus 400 at the beginning of the year just to even make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So here's how the series breaks down. Give me your thoughts on this. I'm going to run and just grab my notes really quick.
Okay.
I put them over here.
So, look, the NHL. It's, in my opinion, it's so. I hate betting on the NHL playoffs, especially. It almost doesn't matter what seed you are. I mean, I get that it does to an extent, but any of these playoff teams can get hot at the right time. Goaltending is huge. Physicality is huge. Injuries become huge. The NHL is notorious for lower body injury. And who knows what it means? They never specify. You never know if your star player is going to come back for the next game or not. Chances are, if it's a lower body injury, they're gone. They're gone for the whole playoffs. That drives. Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
Did you find them?
I did.
Okay, good.
I just want to make sure I got the other ones. Okay,
I tried to. Does it annoy you as much as it annoys me when in the NHL when somebody gets hurt and they say lower body injury for the NHL. It's never like, oh yeah, he's got a torn rotator cuff or hamstring strain.
Same as everything else.
But I feel like
does the same thing.
Do they really?
How many people get put on the questionable
Yes,
list?
I know, but you know that they're going to
totally
play.
Fine.
You still know that they're going to play. In the NHL, you don't. I don't feel like you do know. You have no idea if they're ever going to come back in the playoffs.
Coming with injury news.
Yeah. Well, my point is, in the NHL, I think it's way harder to just to pick winners in this. I mean, the President's Trophy winner, I mean, usually doesn't get to the Stanley Cup Finals. Like, goaltending is huge, physicality is huge, gelling together at the right time is huge, more so than in any other sports postseasons. So
that's why it's so important to get in.
Yeah, because you could make a run.
100%.
Yeah, you absolutely could make a run. Yeah. You know, out of the Atlantic Division, Buffalo had 109 points. Buffalo came out of nowhere this year and is now, like, you know, one of the favorites to go to the Stanley Cup. The Metropolitan Division, the Hurricanes, 113 points. Out of the Central, the Avs are 119 points. They had the President's Trophy, most points in the league. And out of the Pacific, you got the Vegas Golden Knights. They had 95 points.
With you, man, Black Bear John Tortorella.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The two best goaltenders in the league, stat-wise, Scott Wedgwood from Colorado with a .207 goals against average, and then Andrei Vasilevsky from Tampa, 2.31 goals against average. Tampa also the second most point getter in the NHL. They've got Nikita Kucherov. He had 130 points. That was 4 behind Connor McDavid. But Colorado's got Nathan McKinnon. He's got 127 points. I mean, these teams are stacked. I guess I'm just going to go chalk out west and go with Colorado. They're plus 160 to win the Western Conference playoffs. But like I said, I am not confident about betting NHL, and I won't. I'm actually not going to be putting any money on the NHL. I'll stick to the NBA, even though it's like my least. I don't know much about the NBA, but I just feel like it's more predictable than the NHL is. And then the East is way tougher. You know, you've got Carolina and you've got Tampa. They're essentially equal odds. They're roughly plus 225. They're both right around there. I think I'll go with the Hurricanes, maybe only because I grew up in Hartford, Connecticut. Not a Whaler fan. Not a Whaler fan, I want to stress. I've always been a Bruin fan since I was 5 years old. However, I still do have a little love for the Whale, and that's where they went. They went down to Carolina. This is the old Whale, the Brass Bonanza. Okay,
we got it.
Okay, you got it? Okay, just didn't know. I was waiting for someone to say, okay, we got it.
Oh, no, everybody's good. You guys good? Yeah, we're good.
Everybody's good. So I'm going to go with Carolina.
So then what?
Boy, I think I'll stick with... I'll stick with the chalk. I'm going to go with Colorado winning the Stanley Cup.
Todd.
I don't know.
Okay, did you do a Bruins first round thing?
No, I'm not doing Bruins first round. I'm not touching that.
I got one of those.
Okay, good.
The Bruins are 3-1-1, by the way, against Buffalo.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Sweet.
Jeremy Swayman is far better than Buffalo's goalie as far as goals against average. Also, he has like no playoff experience, and Swayman does. In round one,
you gonna take the Bees?
We'll take the upset.
All right.
Plus 145.
That's
Bruins
all it is.
win the series.
That's all it is.
It's not as much of an.
I'm telling you, that's not worth putting money on.
Plus 145.
You can have it.
Bruins to
you can
win
have
the
it,
series,
folks.
Plus money.
Please.
Let's.
I'm good. I'm good.
Bruins.
I'll tap out of this one.
Okay. On the futures, mine is
what do you got?
completely different than yours.
Oh, good.
Did you know that the Colorado Avalanche had a plus 94 goal differential? They scored 94 more goals than the teams that they played.
That is, think about how many games they played. They play 82 games.
So
82 games. More than 1 goal per game.
Better than
their opponent.
Isn't that insane?
That's bonkers.
Right? That's crazy. They only lost 16 times.
That is bonkers.
The team's insane.
But you're going to pick against them.
I know that that the President's Cup Trophy President's Trophy winners rarely win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
But it does happen. This hasn't happened in a while.
No, I know.
Colorado coming out of the West at plus 160.
Yeah.
Give me the Avalanche. I'm taking plus money.
That was my bet. You said we're all
Colorado.
different. Oh,
then
here we go.
Carolina,
we're all the same. We're the same. That's why.
Carolina, you know what Carolina's problem has been? Florida.
Yeah, they're not in
Guess who Carolina doesn't have to play?
Florida's they don't have to play.
Florida. Guess what that means? Maybe this is finally the year that the Hurricanes get what they deserve after the past couple of years of frustration. So at plus 215, give me Carolina. So if I got Carolina and Colorado in the Stanley Cup Finals, there's only one possible winner here.
It's
Jimmy Ray Bork.
Colorado
Avalanche.
Wow. It's the only way Bork could get a Stanley Cup.
And then Boston threw him a parade.
I know.
The Avalanche as well, plus 300 to win the Stanley Cup Finals if you bet it now. Plus 300 for the Avs to win the Cup. If you're going to bet, that seems like your bet on San Antonio.
Yeah.
If you're going to bet, give me the overwhelming favorite at plus 300, and I'll take my chances.
I
Something
think so
dramatic
too.
would have to happen for that not to happen.
Yeah.
So I'll, that seems like a smart place to put
I agree.
So
I agree.
Okay. What's next?
Where are we going? We are going to the Red Sox, maybe?
Hold on.
Hey, we're almost there.
Oh,
Jimmy!
Uh-oh. Wake up.
Jimmy,
Wake
you up there?
Wake up. These guys aren't open. There it is, the Sadowski Sleeper. Jimmy's here to give us some.
What up, Jimmy?
Sports that you might be sleeping on.
Does it look dark
Jimmy, it does.
in there?
Jimmy, what do you got for us?
We need some lighting on you, Jimmy.
Day?
We want to see.
Do we need some better?
Are you able to adjust?
Bump it up, or
I would pump that up. Oh,
it's called the Sleeper because producer Isaac says you're asleep. So
it's mood lighting.
We've got mood lighting for you.
It's mood lighting.
Bump the lighting up in here. Hold on.
Oh wait, we're gonna increase the lighting.
We're sending in our.
Hold on. Oh wait.
Okay.
Got some behind the scenes work.
Oh, look at him.
Here we go. Here we go.
So handsome.
Turn it off. Too much light. You woke up. All right, Sadowski Sleeper, what are we doing this week, Jim?
Yeah, what do we got?
All right, guys, we're doing the NRL, not the NFL, the NRL, the National Rugby League.
Oh.
And before I get into the bet, I'm going to break down just some of the rules, the basics, so you know how it works going into it.
Thank you.
All right.
Automator Savon, throw up the video if you can. Let's go. National Rugby League. So, unlike football, you can't throw the ball, which is very similar to a football. You can't throw it forward. It's only backward or laterals. That's what you can do. You can kick it to your teammate as well, and you're trying to get it over the goal line, kind of like football, but you gotta ground it. That's what they call it, where you gotta actually see that the guy went down, hit it against the ground, and you gotta do it forcibly, but also maintain possession. That's worth 4. There's also penalty kicks, which are basically field goals, but not called field goals. Those are worth a point, and then depending on your distance, you can basically do a drop kick where you throw the ball on the ground, you kick it through the uprights, and depending on your distance, it's either 1 or 2 points. And like football, you can't interfere with somebody who doesn't have the ball. Like if you tackle somebody and they don't have the ball, that's a penalty. So there's that, and very rough sport for rugby too. Very physical, not a lot of padding, but you're basically delivering football hits, so very, very physical there. Those are pretty much the basics. That's what you need to know for rugby. Now to my pick. Pretty much even money, very close.
Yeah.
Minus 150. I'm going the game tomorrow too, if you guys want to watch. A little before the 4:30. It's on at 4 a.m. So
hold on.
that.
Hold on, I am writing this down.
Yeah.
Because we will live bet. Can we live bet this, Jimmy? Can you live bet rugby?
I'm not sure. I would assume so. I've never live bet rugby, but I bet you can.
Well, I'm going to tell you tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so
go for it.
What do we got?
But I'm just going with the favorite. Very close odds if you pull them up again. I'm going with the Melbourne Storm. Minus 150 against the Canberra Raiders. They're two very kind of cellar dweller teams right now. They're very low in the standings. The Storm is slightly better than the Raiders. And another thing, too, the Raiders just got to win. The Storm are coming off 4 losses. And I don't think, if it's 2 bad teams, I'm basically betting on the worser team who just got a win. I don't think they're going to replicate it. I would take the side of the team who just had a bunch of losses, maybe getting the upset over the team that's also lower in the standings. So that's basically my logic there. You know, nothing else too interesting about it. Just going basic this week.
Is Melbourne the home team?
No, I believe they're at Canberra.
Okay, so we've got Melbourne on the road at -150, and that's just money line, just to win.
Yeah, just the money line. Playing it basic.
What's like home field advantage like in Australia?
Is it like Premier League where like the football, like where it's
like there's chanting and all this? Like, do they get into it there?
I would imagine there's some of it. Yeah, I mean, rugby is huge in Australia, as we know. Different from Aussie rules football, though, which I also had on the show.
Yes.
I believe a couple months ago. Different rules too, so something to look out for there. But it's huge over there.
Now, who do we have at halftime during the kangaroo boxing match? Which way are we going on that one?
I don't know.
It's human versus kangaroo, by the way, Jimmy. It's human versus
if it's
kangaroo.
Human versus kangaroo, I'm taking the kangaroo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely go
kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
All right, is that it?
That's it. No Lee Corso this week. No not so fast, my friend. I don't have any extra picks, but go Celtics, go Bruins, obviously. I'm from Massachusetts.
Let's go.
I did take the Celtics to win the East, too.
Nice.
Right, there you go, Jimmy.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for your hard work on that.
Yeah, of
4
course.
a.m. tomorrow.
Nice dig.
We'll be live betting that tomorrow during the early morning report. So make sure you watch that because I make some money there with that. Okay, Red Sox.
Sox.
Today off. Good. I need a break. And a four-game series coming up because Patriots Day Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I didn't realize. I totally forgot about Monday. So I only went out through Sunday.
So did I. And then I go, Monday. And I had to go back. So I had to add it late. So,
I didn't go back. So that's okay.
I did.
Yeah.
Why don't you go first?
Well, look, both teams are not good right now.
Not right now.
Both teams had higher expectations, right?
Sure.
I mean, definitely Detroit.
Yeah.
You know, with their pitching staff.
I mean, and they added pitching.
Yeah.
And they added hitting.
Yeah.
They were probably one of the favorites to win the American League. I mean, 2 weeks into the season, so
yes,
let's not get crazy.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people are on the ledge right now in Red Sox Nation. I still feel like you need to tap the brakes. Like, this team will turn around. I mean, I don't know that they're going to be a playoff team. Like, you did not pick them. You did not pick them to be a playoff.
Did not make the playoffs, and I had the under of 89.5.
Yeah. So right now that all looks really good, but they're going to go on a hot streak.
It's early.
Yes, it's early. You know, it's early.
The fact that it's happening in April versus July is why people are freaking out.
Yeah,
if they lost, what's their record right now?
I don't know, 6 and.
Detroit's like 9-9, right? So the Patriots, the Red Sox are probably what, like 7-11?
7-11. They won yesterday.
So if they
slaughtered.
If they went 7-11 in July, people are like, they're in a slump. But you're 7-11 in April and you suck and you can't possibly play.
Right.
So when you start the season this way, certainly in Red Sox Nation, the first button you find is the panic button. Like, there's no logic button anywhere else. We don't have a logic button. So
no, we do not.
Right. So that's not even a thing.
Right.
So it's either panic or awesome. So right now we're on panic.
We're in panic. Yeah. Detroit is only 2-8 on the road, I believe. Unless were they? Did they win their last 2 games? I don't even know what the record is. When I did my research, they were 2-8 on the road. So that's good news for the Sox when they come to Fenway tomorrow. First game tomorrow night, you got Suarez against Casey Mize. Mize has been pitching really well. He's got 3 starts, got an ERA of 3.07. He's striking guys out, 18 Ks in 16 innings. Red Sox strike out a lot. I don't know if you've noticed. One of the leaders in the league in striking out people.
I don't have that.
You didn't have that?
No,
trust me.
Interesting.
They strike out a lot.
Where'd you come up with that one?
Suarez actually, he stunk his first couple of starts, but he did look.
He's getting better.
He did look really good against St. Louis. 6 innings, 0 earned, 6 Ks. I personally just don't trust him yet. I'd like to see more, especially against American League teams. I mean, that was St. Louis. I don't know. For some reason, National League teams, I still feel like they have a pitcher hitting. And like all their games are lower scoring. I mean, I know that's so antiquated, but it's still that logic in my head.
I'm with you.
I don't know why.
For years and years and
right?
years in fantasy baseball,
yes,
I would only draft
National League pitchers
because they only had to face it.
I know.
So I still do that. I go, they're facing
wait a second. Yeah.
They got a DH too.
Right.
No, I got you.
So my bet for tomorrow night will involve Casey Mize. with his 3.07 ERA and his more than 1K per inning. So look, I just want to get it as close to like minus 100 as possible. So that might actually be 6+ strikeouts. I don't know. I don't think the odds are out yet. So if it's 5+, let's go with that. If it's 6+, let's go with that. Because I think he'll get 5 or 6 innings tomorrow evening, and therefore he should have 5 or 6 Ks, if that logic makes sense to you. Okay.
Isaac, are all of my bets on one full screen, or are they separated? Okay, then I'm going to have to go last.
Okay. All right. So next up, we've got Game 2 on Saturday. Brian Bayo got his first win of the season Sunday against St. Louis. Also pretty good. He still has a 6.14 ERA. However, with 9 walks and 3 starts, just 9 Ks over that 15 innings also. So not great. Not great. He's facing Detroit's ace, Skubal. 2-2 with a 2.22. There's a lot of 2s in there. ERA. He's got 23 Ks in 24 innings. He has given up 1 run or less in 3 of his 4 starts. So, because I do not trust the Red Sox bats yet, and Skubal is their ace, and he's only given up 1 run in 3 of 4 starts, I'm going to go Skubal for 3 or fewer earned runs and 6+ Ks, and it should be somewhere around minus 100. I was looking at other pitchers and what they needed, similar type pitchers, strikeout pitchers, ace pitchers, and those were kind of the 2. That's how they lined up for a parlay to get you close to minus 100. The final game that I'm going to cover, you'll cover the other ones. We got Framber Valdez, lefty, 1-1 this season, 4.76 ERA. He got shelled against the Twins, giving up 10 hits and 8 earned runs. His other 2 starts were really good. He went 6 innings and he only gave up 1 earned run in both of those games. Going against Garrett Crochet. He's 2-2 with now a 7.58 ERA because, Lee, he gave up, 11 earned runs the other day? Was it 11 or 10?
No bueno.
The worst outing of his entire career. 10, I'm being told. The worst
0
outing of his entire
strikeouts.
career.
Faced 18 batters and struck out 0.
So
that's almost impossible. What would the odds have been on that?
Yeah, right. Word is his velocity was way down.
It's not the word. I mean, it was the radar gun.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
90. He was throwing he never threw
so
harder
facts
than
are
95.
Are you trying to say facts are?
I'm just saying I watched the game. He never topped out 95. That wasn't something that Jimmy at the water cooler told me. Hey, I heard this. I didn't hear it. I saw it. 95. And he says he's fine.
I know.
And Cora says he's fine.
So, all right. I'm willing to trust that he's fine.
All right.
Maybe I'm just too gullible. I'm drinking too much.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I am drinking too much.
Both.
Both. There it is.
It's grain alcohol. It tastes like fruit punch. It's Kool-Aid.
Yeah. First step.
We'll have a different 800 number for you later on. Anyway.
We should provide it. So I don't know. Was it a fluke? Let's chalk it up to a fluke. This one then could be a pretty good duel between Framber and Valdez. And
Valdez is good. He was with Houston last year.
Yeah.
He's a good pitcher for them.
So
he had a clinker in the last one.
So I want to chalk it up to just those were flukes. This is going to be a good pitching duel, and let's go under on runs for this one.
All right. So probably be what, 7.5?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be like a regular number.
Yeah, it should be, especially the fact that
better number.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Especially coming off those 2 clunkers of outings for both pitchers. So,
all right, I'm trying to keep it simple right now with the Red Sox because I have no idea what they're doing, and winning games is not something I'm willing to be a part of right now. So last week, if you remember, I had Manny Machado hits a home run, Manny Machado hits a home run, Manny Machado hits a home run. Those are my 3 bets for the weekend, and he did. And you only needed 1 to hit to make money off the 2 you lost.
I like that. That's great.
That was a win, especially because it was on Sunday.
Yeah.
So the odds were better for me on Sunday because he had not homered at that point.
Right.
So if he'd done it on Friday, the Saturday, Sunday odds might have actually come down a little bit, but they went up because he had not homered.
Right.
So I got paid more than it was on the last.
Oh, great.
Anyway, I have a similar strategical bet conceptually on this weekend where I'm calling it the Special K. I'm only doing strikeouts for this weekend for each game, and I've got one pitcher from each game. I also have Casey Mize. I think Casey Mize is going to strike out at least 5 on Friday. I think Skubal strikes out at least 6 on Saturday. I think Crochet is going to strike out at least 5 on Sunday, and Jack Flaherty pitching for Detroit.
He's on Monday.
On Monday,
He's on Patriots
he also
Day.
has 21 strikeouts in 20 innings. So he's also a strikeout and inning guy. Most of Detroit's pitchers are actually, except for actually Valdez. So I am going. That's why I have the Crochet side of that one, and then Flaherty with at least 5 Ks on Monday. So strikeouts, and strikeouts are going to be my bets for the Red Sox on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and 11 a.m. on Monday.
Roughly what? You're parlaying all that? Is that what you're doing?
No.
Oh.
Those will be all single game bets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you think Casey Mize? Because that's what I had.
Yeah,
5
I
plus.
think they're all going to be right about.
Maybe minus 100-ish. Okay. All right. Good. That's where I want it.
But if you bet $10 and you get back 18,
that's great.
Okay,
I'm very happy with that.
These guys are all averaging that against a team that loves to strike out, so it's not a ton of risk. It's relatively safe.
Yeah,
it's always gambling. So Crochet struck out nobody the other day against the Twins, and I lost money there because how's that going to happen? Sometimes it does.
Right. Okay.
Okay. The Masters was so great last weekend. Just another great event. There's another big one, though, back-to-back. They're running right back here. Not as many players in this one. The field's smaller, but a $20 million purse. Lots of big names at the RBC Heritage this week.
Yep.
As they
down in Hilton Head.
hit the links in Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Hilton Head.
Now, but you'll know this better than me as the golf guy. Is there no cut because the field is so small?
I don't know.
That there's not going to be a cut.
Oh, that'd be great. I don't know that.
Because the field's not big enough for a cut. I'd have to.
Maybe
deep
producer
dive
Isaac can just check in
and just
the
give
app
us a thumbs up or
just
not.
to see if there is an option for a bet for make the cut or not. Because usually when they're
I heard that there
usually exists.
Won't be a cut.
I know that there are top 40s involved this week,
all right.
which I'm going to go back to the well for. I think I'm going to go back to my top 40.
Sounds about right. No cuts.
No cuts. Great. Okay. So the field is good, and Scotty's playing.
Yeah.
He is the favorite at plus 350, and then everyone else is way down.
Man, was he good on the weekend?
He was so good.
His last 36 holes, right? No bogeys, right?
I was rooting for him
for the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, but he still left shots on the table.
But he always does. He's not a great Thursday, Friday guy, but he's a great Saturday, Sunday guy.
Yeah, but he didn't make he had some 10-footers for birdie to. All he needed was one more.
I know, but I'm actually glad Rory won.
Are you?
Yeah.
Just the back-to-back
I like
thing?
the history, I like the back-to-back. I mean, there's nothing about him that bothers me.
Well, the one thing that bothers me is that he's not American. I like to see American golfers win the American majors.
US Open.
No, but it's the Masters, and it's in Georgia.
I know.
The deep South, like the heart of the, not the Union, the heart of the Confederate. Yeah. Which, anyway, we're not going to go through a history lesson here, unless you want to.
No.
Okay. You sure?
Oh, quite sure.
That's the 10 o'clock show? All right. So then you got Xander Schauffele, Fleetwood, Cam Young, but they're roughly.
Fleetwood's dead to me.
Yeah, me too.
Dead to me.
I know. They're roughly plus 1,500 compared to Scotty's plus 350. So last year's winner was Justin Thomas. Coming in second was Andrew Novak, and then Daniel Berger finished third. All of these guys are in the field again this year. I'm just not loving really any of their play. Novak and Berger missed the cut at the Masters. Justin finished 41st, and he's only played in 4 tournaments this year. There's just not enough sample size on Justin Thomas. And I got to be honest, even though he is American, I've never been a big Justin Thomas fan for some reason. I don't know. I feel like there was some sort of beef with another player at some point back in the day, and I don't know. Anyway, so I did like what I saw. It's no secret. I've got a big crush on Russ Henley.
Jeez.
I wish
because we've had a lot of the same. We have nothing the same here.
Okay, that's good.
So now I feel better.
Yeah, I do too. Because we had it all the same last week. And I should have gone with my boy Henley last week because he had a great Masters showing. He has made 6 of 8 cuts this year. He's had 6 top 20s, 3 top 10s, and he finished 3rd last week at the Masters. He's also fared well at prior Heritage Classics here down at Hilton Head. Last year he finished 8th, the year before that 12th, and the year before that 19th. So he likes Hilton Head a lot. He likes it a lot. I'm going to go and call the ball. I'm going to call the ball.
You going to Maverick?
I'm going to Maverick. I'm going to Maverick McNeely.
Don't call me Peter McNeely.
That's right. Didn't you call him that?
No.
No, what happened? There was something. Oh, is he a boxer or something?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it was. Are you sure you didn't call him Peter McNeely?
I'm quite sure.
I don't know about that.
Maybe he's going to get knocked out this week.
He might get. He better not get knocked out. He's made 8 of 9 cuts this year. Really strong in his last 4 tournaments too. At Arnold's, the Palmer, 13th, 32nd at the Players down at the TPC at Sawgrass. 21st Valero in Texas, and he finished 18th last week at the Masters, which was his best finish at a major ever.
Yeah.
So he's kind of he's hot. He's hot right now. Yeah,
it.
and he's played well at the Heritage last year. He finished tied for 3rd. So I don't know. I'm gonna take a little flyer on him, and another guy that I like this week, Jordan Spieth. Always flies under the radar. He's another guy that always does well at the Masters, and I knew it, and I didn't take him. I should have. 2025 at the Heritage, 18th. 2024 at the Heritage, 29th. 2023 at the Heritage, finished 2nd. 2022 at the Heritage, he finished 1st. He loves this course. He finished top 20. He's finished top 20 in 4 of his last tournaments, including 12th last week at the Masters. What else have I got in here? Oh, I got to talk about Sam Burns too. Yeah. I got to talk about Sam Burns, and I got to talk about Cam Young. I got 2 more guys.
Oh, God.
Sam Burns, another guy I like. Don't worry, we'll be done soon.
He's picking 37 golfers.
I like.
They're all going to finish in the top 40.
I love golf. They are. I got a bunch of top 40s. They better. He's had a really strong 2025. He struggled. He has struggled at the start of the 2026 season. He missed 3 of his first 5 cuts. He's been much, much better recently. His last 3 tournaments, he's gone 13th at the Players, 21st at the Houston Open, and last week 7th at the Masters. That's a good little streak he is on. And last year at Hilton Head, he finished 13th. So he's had success there too. Finally, Cam Young, arguably should have won it last week at the Masters tournament. He played so darn well. He's at the top of his game right now. In his last 4 PGA starts, he's finished 7th at the Genesis, 3rd at Arnold Palmer. 1st, he won the Players Championship at Sawgrass, and he finished last week 3rd at the Masters. He faltered on Masters Sunday. At the Heritage, he didn't do that well last year. He finished 54th. The year before that, 62nd. But back in 23 and 22, he went 19th and 3rd. He's been top 5 at this tournament before, so he has success there too. So these are my 2 bets. Top 40, Casey Kasem, bet. McNeely, Spieth, and Burns to finish top 40. That's plus 130 right now. My other bet, it's a little simpler. It's a top 20 bet with Cam Young and with Russell Henley. And that's also plus money at plus 160.
Makes me nervous.
What does?
Cam Young. He makes me nervous.
Yeah, it's fine.
I feel like he's going to be stuck in his head all week of how he blew the Masters on the last day.
Probably.
So,
but whatever.
Yeah, it's your money, not mine.
Yeah.
He's not my bet. All right.
Okay, what do you got? Tell us your bet.
Thank you, Todd.
Floor is yours.
Did you know the most prominent part of this course in Hilton Head, South Carolina is?
18?
The most prominent feature of the course.
Oh. Narrow fairways?
Narrow fairways. Trees. It's like it's like the courses in Maine. Trees everywhere. Okay, this is the pine tree course, not actually pine trees, but trees everywhere. Narrow fairways. So there'll be a huge premium on what kind of play?
Well, I would think driving off the tee accuracy is big.
Also,
iron play.
Iron play. Very big. Ironman. Like Robert Downey Jr. should be in this tournament, right? Because he's Iron Man.
The Iron Man?
Right? He should be in this.
Yeah.
So this is all about the irons. So don't put the bet up yet. So I've done some research.
Okay, what do we got?
As I like to do, especially with golf. So
Glad you did some research.
So I can sound, well, you know.
So you sound like you know what you're talking about.
We started
appreciate
the show with, you know, if I was going to bet, yep, that's what we're going to do.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
Okay. Can't lose with this guy.
Oh, boy.
Can't
Clear hearts.
lose
No.
with Cantlay. Patrick Cantlay. I love him. He has come in 13th or better in 7 of his 8 tournaments at Hilton Head. He's been at least 13th or better 7 out of 8 times at this course.
That's great.
He loves this course.
Loves it.
Also one of the favorites. Also, I like Fitzy. Not just because it's a great nickname.
Fitzpatrick?
But I love Matt Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Right? He's played in 23, he was the winner.
Yeah.
And in 2 of his last 3 tournaments at Hilton Head, he's been second and first.
Wow.
First and second. So
What? Wait. So
in 2 of his 3, he's had
won.
a first and a second. Yes, he's had a win and a second.
what was the
place.
third one?
I didn't look that one up because I don't care about that one. Because the aggregate shows me that.
Wow, the aggregate. That is a monster word for you.
You just showed me a 79th place finish and you're putting money on
I
it.
didn't put a 79th. There's no 79 in there.
49th.
I don't even think there's 79 golfers.
Dude,
How many golfers are in this?
49
Producer Isaac,
boys.
how many golfers are in this one? Look that one up.
I'm sorry, it wasn't 49th. 54th.
54.
54.
Are there 79 golfers
on him.
in this tournament?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Matt Fitzpatrick did not come in 54th on that third one. It was better than that.
Maybe we should look that one up.
Can't lose and can't lay. And I'm going to go with this one. Now we can throw it up. And I'm putting Scheffler on.
Why is he calling me?
That's a great question. We're hitting on the head at Hilton Head.
Okay.
Come on.
Hit it on the head.
So I want Scheffler in this because why not? It improved the odds. So,
barely, right? Was he like plus?
It was like 180,
minus
from 180 to 230.
Oh, that's actually good.
So it was enough to make.
That's actually really good.
There.
Yeah.
So Scheffler and Fitzy and Cantlay all top 20.
Yeah.
That's plus 230, which is the biggest plus money bet of our golfing bets. So if you want to make the most money, I would steer you towards
or
that.
If you want to have the most, well, I mean, Scotty's going to finish top 10, obviously.
This is 20.
No, oh yeah,
No,
plus
yeah,
20.
I only care about top 20.
Meant to say plus, top 20.
Try to make it easy as I could.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay, good talk. We're moving on.
Good talk.
Now we're going to this. Will, Premier League Match of the Week. There was not much debate about which game was going to be on, and Will last week had the winner, had over 2.5 goals, but I think he also said each team was going to score. That didn't happen, but I do like the multiple goals bets. But this is the game of the week. This is for all the marbles in England. This is the heavyweight championship of the world, if you will. So here's Will.
Hi guys. This week really is the big one. This is the title decider up in Manchester, Manchester City versus Arsenal. I think the winner of this game goes on to take the rest of the Premier League. So big stakes. I think Arsenal are going to bottle this. I think Manchester City are going to win at home. I think it's going to be tight, and there's going to be a 1-goal margin. So 1-0, 2-1, probably no higher than that. Haaland hasn't scored in a while. This could be the moment where he makes his big comeback and, does great. But the player in form for Manchester City is Cherky, so I'd go for goal or assist for him. All right, good luck.
Let's see.
All right, there's Will with the big prediction on the big game.
Come on.
Find this thing yet?
I'm trying. I want to find out what that third.
Can't you use chat, whatever it's called? All right, listen, we have a lot of fun while we talk about gambling. For some people, it is a problem. So if you or someone you know has a gambling issue, please know that there's help for you. The confidential helpline is always available at 211, or you can visit 211main.org. Information, resources, all of this is available to you. The helpline and the website, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Tied for 28th.
Okay, that was his worst one.
That was
So he's got a 28, the first and a second.
2024.
Yeah, and he's got a first and a second.
2025. Tied for 38th. Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Okay, so when did he win it? 2022?
I don't know. Look it up. All right,
I am. It's that, your notes are not correct.
Week. Oh, yes, they are. If he's even one of the favorites on DraftKings.
He won it in 2022.
Oh, then my notes are what, correct?
Well, the last 2 years he's finished
correct.
outside the top 30.
That's not what I said. I said in 2 of his 3 times there, boom, 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 first and second.
All I hear is boom, boom, boom.
Wait, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, there it is, the Ross Bonanza! Woo! Let's go, Will! Ron Francis, Sylvain Turgeon.
Kevin Deneen.
Oh, Kevin Deneen.
Let's go.
Mike Liu.